Hello future. I'm recording this in the past, I guess. I never left this place. Um, but I guess I'm always recording in the past for you guys. Anyways, I found this glider schematic, which is interesting. And I also found this little place. This is just under the staircase. And it's a small little room with a couple of things in here. There's like a big sword. My inventory is like completely full. I could like equip some of this stuff just to pick it up and see what it is. There's also, I haven't checked out this bookcase. No, okay, nothing in there. Jonas part, whatever this thing is, and a tuning cylinder. So actually I kind of want to... Okay, no, never mind, I can't pick this up. But I can pick this thing up and listen to it. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna listen to this thing and then I'm gonna read the books that I acquired when I got this place. Or when I... yeah, you know what I mean. Alright. Can I not change it? Okay, I think I listened to that. So... can I not swap this thing out? Oops. Tunes the resonator. Can I make a resonator myself? I can. Okay, so maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Alright, I don't have all of these parts. I have maybe some. Maybe this one. But definitely not all four of them. I also am lacking electrum and I probably don't have... what's that? Copper nickel? That's copper and nickel. Yeah. Okay, then maybe this thing has to wait. That's a shame. Anyways, let's get to reading. Anyways, thanks for the heads up on the fact that I missed a couple of things. So, let's have a seat somewhere. Anywhere is fine. Aha, I like this place. Alright, let's begin with the Spy and the Sparrow. My honorable lord, successfully recruited. Had to prove intentions. Apologies to Baron Tassi for disturbing his sleep and the stolen chamber pot. Crude sense of humor. Group I joined this chapter of bigger organization. Intentions unclear. But much talk of self-sufficiency. Made up of both men and women. Peasantry foremost. Some craftsmen, a cobbler, 2 carpenters, a servant, just under 24 souls. None can write or read, I think, but I shall keep vigilant. Will ingratiate myself with them and keep Keep gathering observations. Await further missives. My honorable lord, confirmed suspicions. Heard boasts of loot from the raid on your lordship's holdings and Viscount Cardoso's ale stores. Bandits work together with another group, spoken of as friends, not competitors, likely another chapter. Targets for attacks decided based on current needs. Medicinal supplies right now. Advise to send word to all at risk. Recruitment seems to be regular but not codified, though generally proof of worth expected. Obtaining a noble's belonging or acquiring a small amount of supplies through some swindle seems a common story. No suspicion of ill intentions after a newcomer is welcomed. Confirming your lordship's assumptions. These are not sophisticated folk. Meeting places determined by a method I am not yet privy to, but aim to learn. Await further missives. Have drawn suspicion from Florin, Harak, subject Smithy. Advise, capture or slay when next seen. Balding, Blackbeard sheared. Stout of posture but walks hunched. Next raid, Lord Cardoso's livestock. A rat supposed to open the way, but no violence planned. My honorable lord, I beg of you to accept my apologies for the tone of my previous missive. Being under scrutiny, I had to be brief and omit the proper language expected by your lordship. Allowed to write the current missive in comfort, resting after thwarted raid. Florin dead of putrefaction from arrow wound. My compliments to Lord Harak's archers. Group is currently hiding within the capillaries. Advise restraint in retaliation, reasoning as follows. Helped escape wounded lad by name of Antek from under Lord Harak's outriders, impressing others. I implore your lordship and allies to grant time until my next missive. Will attempt to garner authority before a larger meeting of the groups, supposed to take place within the month. With luck, I may be able to deliver your lordship more than just foot soldiers. My honorable lord, my sincere thanks for your generous and wise decision to abstain from violence against the bandits. I realize the recent attacks have been a nuisance, but my plan is bearing fruit. My contributions to the raids was noted. My apologies to the guard at Viscount Cardoso's estate. I pray his knee heals well. And my reputation among the group is now well established. I have been informed that the chapter has been noted by a certain sparrow. Unsure of yet if this is a nom de guerre, I'm not sure if that's correct, or a title, but I've heard it often lately. Tomorrow we are to join a meeting which addresses the current makeup of the group and its priorities. I will send another missive as soon as I am able to do so in less plentiful company. Okay, I think I recognized some name. Florin? No, maybe not. Okay, but some kind of bandits and whatnot. Let's continue. The patronage of Tybalt Amaro. Hail! Ridiculous, no. Hark! I am Tybalt Amaro, cousin to the king, and third Viscount of... No. I suppose I just speak plainly. I made a purchase yesterday, a rather peculiar one. Having just returned from my cousin the king's residence, and seeing one of these bells, as they're called, though I myself have no idea why. Nothing bell-like about them at all, akin to a snake more like. I am a God-fearing man, and find this form unnerving. Curious that our church, so eager to lambast every drunkard and enjoyer of the carnal pleasures, remains largely mum on these, truly. Where was I? My cousin, the king, swears by this contraption, and it cost me a pretty penny. But soon, I hear it said, no noble house shall be without one. I wonder what other such inventive tools there are, and what their use might be. On the way back to my estate, I heard word of a traveling alchemist from the Orient and decided to invite him here with his cart of curiosities. Provided he shows, I might host him for a while, though frankly he'd do well to entertain me. We shall see how he fares. Ah, my throat is dry. I suppose that's enough for now. How do you make this thing inert? Shuffling followed by scratching followed by clanking until a sudden thud, then silence. Are these like sound to paper? Okay, interesting. Yes, so I shall now speak. I am becoming accustomed to the appearance of this device, though it has been some days since I have used it last. Some malfunctions. The crooked merchant's oversight, I am sure. Had it just been standing there, waiting for the man to arrive and repair it. It better work fine now, or my cousin, the king, will learn of this. I have mentioned before an inventor, a man by the name of Dastan. Where from he hails and why he uses only his first name he does not say. A quiet, small man, unassuming and humble. God Almighty, such a bore. In my sudden fascination with these mechanical toys, I have assumed that inventors are universally bright and intriguing, but no. This Dastan fellow has brought with him trinkets and baubles aplenty, but nothing truly to inspire. A ball that gyrates in the air when spun, a parlor trick, appropriate amusement for a child perhaps, but nothing more. A short reed, through which wine can be poured and which supposedly makes it more palatable, although I tasted no difference. A spice grinder in the shape of some exotic hulking beast. The rest are too uninspiring to even remark upon. I shall give him a day or two, more perhaps, to present something from that rickety cart of his to truly put a spark in my eye, or else my hospitality will come to an end. I have no patience for charlatans. The nobleman's voice is excited, the change in tone obvious in comparison to the previous entries. I had started this day resolved to run the inventor, but he has finally pulled through. I heard him working on something in the stables overnight. The man looked like he hadn't slept at all when I approached. It was the most peculiar thing. Wings crafted out of thick fabric and spread over scaffolding, the likes of which I've never seen. To think he kept them under covers for all that time. They're not ready, and need to undergo trials, he said. Come now, I say. The sky is clear, and you surely have faith in your craft. Cruel, perhaps, but the gambit was well worth it. Dastan took the contraption to a nearby hill and rode down it like he would a cart. It seemed he would crash on the bottom, but something miraculous started happening in front of our eyes. The invention started lifting, and then sprung into the air. At first, I thought it mere illusion, a trick, but no! He circled the hill and came to a stop at its feet, shaking and pallid, as a man not long for this world, but intact. I have fed him, let him rest, and summoned him to my study, where he has just now left. Tomorrow I shall try out this contraption. Dastan was trying to object, but he relented after I offered my price. Truly, wealth can open many doors, and I am fortunate to possess enough to afford such a bargain. Tomorrow, God willing, the name Amaro shall go down in history as the first man to have taken flight. My cousin shall be so envious. The nobleman's voice breaks before he can utter a word. A sobbing can be heard for a few long moments before he composes himself to speak clearly. Words escape me. There is truly no way I can describe the wonder. The wind in my face, soaring above the ground, seeing the world as I have never seen it before. Dastan, a genius, a visionary, blessed by God. For how else to explain his talent? Today, he is resting in my best guest chamber. My servants catering to all his needs, no expenses spared. Tomorrow we shall speak of many things. My skull feels close to bursting with all the thoughts of what could be achieved with this invention. And now that I have tasted flight, I can scarcely stop thinking about doing it again. Amaro, I should very much like to have this recorded for posterity. All chronicles shall remember this day, Dastan, as my lord pleases, though I must state again that the endeavor will be challenging. Tomorrow. Nonsense. Whatever you manage once, you shall do again, and faster this time, with my funds at your disposal. Together we shall share the gift of flight with kingdoms far and wide. Your name shall be as widespread as that of Falk's, and with good reason. Dastan, I am humbled, my lord. Amaro. Enough coyness. Those who listen to this recording shall know the names of both Dastan the inventor and Tybalt Amaro, his patron. But tell me, friend, have you thought about what I asked? Yes, I have. Well then, let's hear it. Farah, my lord. Farah, an odd word. What is its meaning? Silence for a few short moments. Fitting, truly. Very well then. I proclaim that we shall build a workshop on my lands, and in that workshop we shall construct dust and wings of Farah. We shall make them available to all in time, so that none of those made in God's image shall be without the joy of flight. This I solemnly swear. Inshallah. Postscriptum. I have so far found no more concrete mentions of either Tybalt Amaro, Dastan, or the wings of Farah, though some fragmented records exist to suggest that the existence of mechanical wings of some descriptions. It is unclear how many were made or how many survived intact into our dark era. Of note, a children's story, heard by one of our brothers, offers an interesting detail, as it concerns a flying bear. The Amaro family crest was a brown bear, standing on its hind legs. Pure coincidence, perhaps, but I have recorded it herein as a curiosity. Okay, interesting. So we can kind of see like things drawn from real life. I did note earlier like God-fearing is like comes very much from our own world, and then Inshallah, that's Arabic. I think for if God wills it. So probably like Islam or I don't know, just some Arabic stuff. I don't know where Farah came from or comes from, if it means something. But interesting. I did find the wings. Oh, it's so dark in there. I didn't notice. Kind of spooky actually. I did get the glider schematic. I wonder if that's what they're talking about. So maybe I can build those someday, which would be cool. Alright, the weight of stone. Stationary, long-term recording. Place of origin, unknown. State, background noise, technical issues. And this one is for you, my lovely niece. What is it? It's heavy and clinking. Well, why don't you open it, Are they stones? You sound so disappointed. What's so bad about stones, little Emily? But there's stones everywhere. Indeed there are, but these here are special. Special stones? Marbles. Worked on them myself, see? All round and smooth and easy in the hand. So they're round stones, but still stones. Heish, aren't you impatient today? Look here, let me show you. You put one down like this, see? And then you take the others and try to... Aha! Almost hit it. Wanna give it a try? It looks easy. Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Wanna make a bet with your uncle? Mama said you shouldn't gamble. Right, your mother is absolutely right. Well then, I guess then I'll take these here back and search for a better gift for a little girl. Give them here. You gifted them, so they're mine now. But you didn't want them, did you? No, I want them. You can't catch me, so you can't take them back. Oi, no running. Wait, if your mother sees you. And off she goes, little whirlwind. Oi, Bert, you're finally out of the tunnels. Was that your niece? Sure was. The girl grows like a water root. Almost didn't recognize her. How's it been up here? Any news? Merchant's been scarce. Last shipment of oil and coal was late, but they still take the ore as if it is their own bloody right. Shush, Hal, not so loud. You know damn well it is their right, and we should be proud to procure the ore they use in the main city. I tell you, our ore is what makes the crawlers and even your lanterns. But it wouldn't hurt them to show some more appreciation now, would it? We've all got our packs to carry down here. And it's not like up top was any better now, was it? Right, you're right. Just being uneasy is all. But as long as the tunnels don't run out, they'll have a need for us. Right. As long as there's ore. Bertram, you're back. Amelia came running just a moment ago. Said you gifted her stones and wanted to bet on them, of all things. Miriam, your little whirlwind is fast on her legs, isn't she? And got a loose tongue, that girl. Don't you entice my kids to any shady deals, you hear me? It's bad enough I have to tell her father off each time. You brothers. I should have never married a miner. Ah, Miriam, don't be like that. There's nothing but miners in this town anyways. And you have the gall to sound proud about it? Tell me, how's the tunnel these days? Your brother comes back every day with dust stuck everywhere. I'll give up washing his clothes soon. The tunnels, huh? I won't lie to you, Miriam. Seen better days, but surely. Some entries are unreadable. The text covered with blotches and stains. The sixth right tunnel is barren. What about the third? Traces remaining. We sent Bert and his men a day ago. He should be back soon. If there's no ore to be found there either, nothing to do about it. We can go deeper. You think I haven't thought of it? But the men are uneasy, and I get where they're coming from. The air down there is stale and thin. But you tested the depth. The lamp kept burning even down there, didn't it? So far it kept burning. But if we can avoid it... Hush, someone's coming. Half a page seemed to be ripped out with uneven edges. Oh my god! Are they alright? What happened? Is that Bertram? Someone call the Greys! The tunnels! Down there! If the supports failed! That's why we needed that bell down there. Hey man, are you alright? Can you hear me? What? I can't. Be quiet, you lot. I can't hear him. Verdammt. Where? Are the rest of you still down there? We need to assemble a search party right away. They went down the third tunnel. If we hurry, we may still... 2 days ago. But we can't just... Someone get him some water and call. The rest of the conversation is lost, despite repeated listening. The quality of the recording and overlapping voice lines made the complete transcription impossible. What do you mean? You have to raise the prices. Again? Didn't you sell these to me for half the price just last time? Sure did. Can't anymore. That's all you have to say? Look here, Alfred. I have to feed myself too. You know how hard it is to get fresh food these days? It's not like these grows on stone. But take it or leave it, Hal. Fine. Okay. We have some German, perhaps? Verdammt. Probably butchered that pronunciation. Interesting. I am kind of going to assume this is about the mine that we entered through that teleporter. like in this place, because some of that place was collapsed. It would be kind of cool, like hearing or like it being written about in some other places, and you kind of connect the different places. I think it gives a lot of life to the world. Uh, Anyways, admirer of the miller. The pond. What could have been if this chaos had not come between us? I can't stop thinking about him. It grieves me, drives me mad. All I can do now is write down these memories and draw what I remember with charcoal from the dying fire. I remember the first time I saw him vividly, since it was such an unusually beautiful and peaceful day. The harvest of rye had begun, but I snuck away early that day from the workers to enjoy the still summer evening out in the forest. Leaves rustled softly as I walked, and small twigs crackled under my feet. Bushes and ferns brushed against my legs and arms. I reached a glade with fallen trees and pools of water. I made myself comfortable, laying on top of a few moss-covered rocks. The surface was dry and soft, and the cranberries were blooming all over, buzzing with life. Looking up between the treetops, I saw the partly cloudy sky. I would do anything to go back to that moment. Feeling drowsy from the sweet, warm air, I closed my eyes and just listened. I heard crows scrambling around in the trees, and small bits of branches splashed down into the water beneath. Bees were humming to and fro close by my face. A fox barked in the distance. Footsteps, branches snapping and brushing of vegetations. The sound stirred me from the haze. I thought it was a deer. It was very faint, but getting closer. I looked up and saw a tall man slowly walking towards the bigger pond in the glade. He sat himself down on an old log right by the water. He sat very still, as did I, and just looked at the water and the bugs that were dancing there. He was fair and had light, long hair with wavy locks. His gaze was cold, but at the same time gentle and at ease. By the look of his rugged hands, strong shoulders, and patched linen clothes, he was a hard-working man. He leaned forward and picked something from the ground. He looked at his find and pulled a string from his pocket. A brief moment of tinkering. He seemed to have made a necklace that he hung around his neck. A gentle smile spread across his face as he held up the adornment piece in his hand, admiring his simple creation. I was careful to stay still, not making my presence known. I did not want to disturb the stillness with my awkwardness, and at the same time I could not take my eyes off him. He brought out a piece of folded yellow parchment out of his belt bag that he proceeded to scribble on, pausing every now and then, looking up, his thoughts seemingly far away. Carefully he put away the parchment and got down on his knees by the clear forest pool and cupped his hands. He took a sip and then splashed his face, making his short beard glitter with water drops. He removed the necklace he had made and hung it on a thin-leafed branch, looked out over the pond one last time, and then contentedly walked away through the bush. Of course I was curious and walked over to the place he had been and inspected the necklace he had made. It was made out of a large acorn from one of the nearby oak trees. If I had only had the bravery to get up and greet him that first time I saw him. But who was I, a shy cow farmer's daughter, to do that? The carriage. As the harvest season went by and autumn was reaching its end, sometimes went back to the ponds in the forest where I had first seen that mysterious man. I had not seen him before in my village, nor could I remember seeing him in the neighboring village either. It was like he appeared out of nowhere, and I couldn't stop thinking about him, to the point where it almost hurt. The acorn necklace still hung there, untouched. The summer green color of the seed was gone, and it had turned into a shiny bronze. At some point I realized that he probably wouldn't come back for it, so I took it and put it around my neck. I felt silly, but it was pretty. in a childish, playful way. My life on the farm got more busy and rough as winter approached. The cows needed to be fed several times a day, as well as the morning and evening milking. The water in their troughs froze, and firewood in our cottage was running low. When the winds were just about to turn freezing and snow was in the air, I brought with me my little wooden cart to the nearby spruce forest to gather some firewood logs to take home and cut. As I was struggling with the frozen logs, a small horse wagon, loaded with sacks and covered from the snow, came rolling on the muddy forest path. The driver had a thick cloak with a hood covering half his face. The grey, heavy mare was trotting energetically, but slowed down to a walk at the light tug of the driver's hands on the reins. The snow was starting to come down heavy, and my clothes were by now all covered in white. The driver stepped off the wagon and put up a hand in the air as a greeting. I hesitantly waved back. He pulled out a thick blanket and threw it over his horse. He stroked the old grey mare between his ears, and she snorted content. The driver turned to me. Do you need cover from the storm, lass? He said in a concerned manner. If you need help, that is. Oh. And there the story ends. On a bit of a cliffhanger. I don't know if I got like a whole lot wiser from reading that, but it was it's definitely fun, like learning more and more about this game. Like it definitely seems there's like an actual story and actual lore and an actual history to this world, which is kind of interesting. I haven't seen that from sandboxy games before, although I haven't played a whole lot of sandbox games. But definitely very interesting. Right, I think I want to take that last Jonas part as well. Oh, I already had one. Fantastic. I'm not sure, I might have missed a couple of lore books in here. I might come back here sometime. I definitely have like books and other stuff. There's a couple of things in that like hidden chest as well that I could come back for, so other than that, I'm not totally sure if there are things that you actually need to come back here for. So I think I'm gonna head back home.